Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are going to be unpacking a deeply tragic, entirely cyclical narrative about the inescapable nature of trauma. It's a story packed with stolen identities, extreme violence, and the absolute lengths people will go to in order to bury their own pasts. So let's just dive right into this. Think about this for a second. If you could just step into a total stranger's perfect life, would it cure the nightmares of your own? It's a pretty fascinating thought experiment, right? We're going to explore this exact scenario by following a man who literally tries to overwrite his own shattered reality with someone else's pristine, high-end existence. Let's see exactly how that works out for him.
Section 1. A Stolen Identity. Escaping into a Borrowed Life.
Our story kicks off on the grim, unforgiving streets of London with an absolutely massive contrast. Meet Joseph Smith. He's a homeless drunk, a street fugitive who is actively being hunted and attacked by a group of thugs. So he runs. He breaks into a nearby building, forces his way into an apartment just to hide. But this isn't just any random apartment. It's a stunning, luxurious space belonging to a highly successful photographer named Damon, who, as luck would have it, is out of the country for the next 8 months. Joseph looks around and he makes this radical decision. He stays. He cleans himself up, puts on Damon's expensive clothes, and completely transforms into this new persona. Joey Jones.
But how do you actually maintain a lie of that magnitude? Well, Joseph builds his illusion very, very carefully. He tells the neighbors he's Damon's boyfriend to casually explain why he's living there. He even takes a humble dishwashing job at a local Chinese restaurant just to keep his cover rock solid. But here's the thing. He hasn't completely severed ties with reality. His one real anchor to his past life is his desperate search for his homeless friend Isabel. She was coerced into prostitution by the exact same gang that attacked him. And to find her, he relies on Sister Christina, a Polish nun who runs a local soup kitchen and literally knows the street community inside and out.
So, okay, he has a roof, a fake name, and a mission. But how fast can a borrowed life escalate? You can change your clothes, for sure, but you really can't change your basic instincts.
Section 2. The Illusion of Control. From dishwasher to enforcer.
This is where Joseph's deeply repressed nature inevitably drags him straight back into the criminal underworld. He starts out as just a quiet kitchen worker, washing dishes, keeping his head down. But then we get the incident. A group of aggressive diners starts causing serious trouble outside the restaurant, and Joseph handles them with this terrifying, calculated efficiency that absolutely nobody expects from a dishwasher. A senior manager there named Mr. Choi witnesses the whole thing, and Mr. Choi happens to be connected to a Chinese organized crime syndicate. He instantly recognizes Joseph's elite combat skills. Just like that, Joseph gets recruited as a highly paid driver and mob enforcer. But here is where the psychology gets really fascinating. Joseph doesn't spend any of this new illicit mob money on himself. Instead, he tries to buy redemption. He secretly buys truckloads of food for Sister Christina's soup kitchen. He tracks down Dawn, his former partner and the mother of his young daughter, who has struggled for years entirely without him. She's incredibly resentful, and rightfully so, but Joseph doesn't argue with her. He just hands her a massive sum of cash and walks away. He is literally using dirty money to try and scrub his conscience clean. Which brings us to a really critical question. Can borrowing someone else's life and throwing around external wealth actually erase your own past? Can you fix internal moral decay with a completely fake identity?
Section 3. Echoes of the Past. The Truth Beneath the Surface. It's time we reveal the dark truth of who Joseph really is and why he ended up living on the streets in the first place. You see, Joseph isn't just a down-on-his-luck drunk. He is a fugitive ex-Special Forces soldier carrying a tremendously severe moral injury. He's wanted by the military, actively running from a court-martial. Why? Because during his deployment in Afghanistan, he watched his entire unit get slaughtered right in front of him. In response, he completely snapped, carrying out brutal, targeted revenge killings against the people he held responsible. That right there is the devastating, suffocating weight he is constantly trying to drink away. And a crucial part of understanding his character is understanding his specific trauma. He calls them hummingbirds. Now, these aren't actual birds. They're hallucinated shapes of aerial surveillance drones that just drift silently through his waking visions at totally unexpected moments. They are a persistent, literally inescapable manifestation of his wartime PTSD. He brought the war home with him, and it constantly hovers right above his head. Then, the fragile, carefully constructed illusion of his posh new life completely shatters. Sister Christina delivers some absolutely devastating news. His street friend Isabel has been murdered. Just like back in Afghanistan, someone he deeply cares about has been violently taken from him. In a flash, he is thrust right back into the core of his trauma.
Section 4, Parallel Traumas. Two sides of the same coin. There is this incredibly brilliant narrative mirror between these two main characters. Think about it. Joseph's trauma was his unit being slaughtered. His reaction was revenge murder. And his hiding place? Damon's identity. But look at Christina. When they visit an art gallery together, she finally opens up. Her trauma? She was sexually abused as a child by her gymnastics instructor. Her reaction? She killed him. And because of her age, she avoided prison and was sent to a convent. So the convent became her hiding place. They are both profoundly broken people who committed revenge murders and then hid inside established institutions to escape the real-world consequences.
Realizing this terrifyingly deep connection, Christina finds herself drawn to Joseph in a way she simply cannot reconcile with her vows. To protect her safe haven, her hiding place, she quietly requests a transfer to a mission in Africa, just to create some physical and emotional distance between them. But as Christina retreats, Joseph has to move forward. So what happens when the very law you are hiding from is the only thing that can actually bring justice? To avenge Isabel, Joseph realizes he has to step completely out of the shadows.
Section 5, The Price of Vengeance. Balancing the scales. Now, let's look at the impossibly dark bargain Joseph strikes to find Isabel's killer. Joseph goes straight to Madame Choi, his mob boss's superior. To get the name of the killer, he agrees to one final terrible favor. He compromises his morals entirely, driving a truck carrying smuggled human beings into the country. It's a horrific act, but the trade works. He gets the name, Max Forster, a wealthy, untouchable predator who specifically targets vulnerable women.
But before he goes after Forrester, Joseph is methodical. He wants to cleanse his conscience and settle every single debt he owes. First, he leaves a stack of cash to repay Damon for the use of the luxury apartment. Second, he leaves a bag of money and his old photographs at Don's door. And third, in a massive final act of redemption, he reports Mr. Choi's entire human trafficking operation directly to the police. He effectively zeroes out the ledger.
With all his affairs settled, Joseph spends one final night with Christina. The very next day, he tracks Max Forrester to a high-society rooftop cocktail party. He corners him and in absolute cold blood throws Forrester straight off the building. Joseph then runs until he literally collapses from pure exhaustion on a street curb. Christina finds him sitting there and he finally confesses the full, crushing weight of his war crimes. The court-martial, the bloody revenge, the hummingbirds, he just lets it all out.
Section 6, The Hummingbirds Remain, the Inescapable Loop. And this brings us to the ultimately tragic, totally cyclical conclusion of Joseph's journey. Because despite all his intense efforts, the borrowed luxury, the mob money, and the violent vengeance, Joseph ends up exactly where he started. His debts are cleared, the fake identity of Joey Jones is abandoned, and he walks alone, right back into the gritty city. He starts drinking again, dissolving right back into the crowd as a nobody. And this leaves us with a final, really chilling thought. In the very end, actual police surveillance drones are shown sweeping the streets in quiet pursuit of him, perfectly mirroring the mechanical silence of those hallucinated hummingbirds from Afghanistan. He thought he left the war behind, but it simply changed its shape. So I want to leave you with this. If trauma just changes shape and follows you like those silent drones in the night sky, can you ever truly escape your own history? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this breakdown helped you see the brilliant psychology at work in this story. Keep asking those deep questions, and I'll catch you next time.
Hello, welcome to Hollywood movie story, guys. So please subscribe and support for me more. And hey YouTube, this my activity is short, small, and creativity. So guys, full watching my Hollywood movie story, and thank you for hey YouTube. Now is mass content is my content. I am activity this okay.